The first thing Daniel Brooks heard when he walked into Bellamy's was laughter sharp. Confident laughter that cut straight through the low music and polished silence of the room. It stopped him in his tracks because he knew that sound. He hadn't heard it in 5 years, but his heart recognized it instantly. Emma Carter. The woman who once believed in him, then decided belief wasn't enough. The woman who had walked away when his future still looked empty. That single laugh pulled him back into the past. Even as the present waited to test him, Bellamy's was not a place for mistakes. It sat along the Chicago River, glowing with quiet wealth and unspoken rules. People came here to celebrate success, not struggle. Daniel knew that. He had built the place with care and patience, brick by brick, decision by decision. Tonight, though, he wasn't here as the man behind the walls. He was here as someone facing a moment he had avoided for years. He scanned the room and saw her at once. Emma sat at a long table by the window, surrounded by well-dressed friends and crystal glasses. She looked different, more confident, more polished, but the way she tucked her hair behind her ear was the same. Daniel felt a tight pull in his chest. He could have turned around. No one had noticed him yet. But something inside him pushed forward. Not anger, not pride, closure. He walked toward the table, each step steady, measured. When Emma looked up, her smile faded into shock. For a brief second, her eyes softened, and the noise around them seemed to fall away. "Daniel," she said, unsure if she was seeing a memory or a man. "Hi, Emma," he replied calmly. His voice didn't shake. That surprised him. The man sitting beside her leaned back in his chair, studying Daniel with open curiosity. He wore a tailored suit and the relaxed confidence of someone who believed the world worked in his favor. "You know him?" the man asked. Emma hesitated. We used to." That was all she said. "Used to." 2 small words that carried years of shared dreams and quiet disappointment. "Daniel Brooks," Daniel said, offering his hand. "Nice to meet you." The man shook it briefly. "Mark Reynolds." His smile was polite but thin. "Are you joining us?" "No," Daniel answered. "I was just saying hello." Mark glanced at Daniel's jacket, his shoes, the absence of any sign of wealth. "Bellamy's isn't cheap," he said lightly. "Not exactly a place people stumble into." Daniel smiled. "I have a reservation." Mark raised his eyebrows, amused. "Of course." A server approached and greeted Daniel by name, confirming his table. As Daniel turned to walk away, Mark's voice followed him. Wrapped in humor but edged with judgment. "Some people chase dreams forever," Mark said. "Others learn when to stop." A few people at the table laughed. Not loudly. Just enough Daniel didn't turn around. He kept walking and sat at a small table near the back. The chair felt solid beneath him. The room buzzed with quiet conversations and soft music, but his thoughts moved faster. He remembered nights when Emma worried about bills, about the future. He remembered her saying she needed stability, not promises. He remembered watching her choose certainty over hope. The server placed a glass of water in front of him. "Would you like the usual, sir?" she asked with a warm smile. Daniel looked up, slightly surprised, then nodded. "Yes, thank you." Across the room, Emma noticed. Her eyes narrowed, curiosity replacing discomfort. Something didn't add up. Daniel wasn't acting embarrassed or angry. He looked calm, comfortable, almost like he belonged there more than anyone at her table. Mark noticed too. "Did she just say, 'sir'?" he whispered to his friend. "Probably habit." The friend replied, but Emma couldn't shake the feeling growing in her chest. The Daniel she remembered had always been nervous in places like this. Always careful. Always aware of what he didn't have. This Daniel sat straight, unbothered, as if he had nothing to prove. As minutes passed, a man in a dark suit joined Daniel's table. They spoke quietly. The man listened carefully, nodding with respect. Servers passed by, offering smiles and brief words. Emma watched it all, her appetite gone. Something was happening. And whatever it was, it had started long before tonight. The past had just walked into the room, and it wasn't finished yet. The moment the headwaiter stopped beside Daniel's table, The energy in Bellamy's shifted. Conversation slowed. Forks paused midair. Something important was about to happen, and people felt it before they understood it. Daniel rose from his chair calmly, as if this moment had been waiting for him all night. He didn't smile, didn't rush. He simply stood, steady and certain, while the past and present collided in the same room. "Welcome back, Mr. Brooks," the waiter said clearly. "It's always an honor to have the owner dining with us." The words traveled fast, cutting through the restaurant like a clean line of truth. Nearby guests turned. Emma froze where she stood, her hand gripping the edge of a chair. For a heartbeat, she thought she had misheard. Then she saw the waiter's expression respectful, sincere, and the color drained from her face. Mark let out a short laugh. "That's a joke, right?" The manager stepped forward at once, professional and composed. "No, sir. Daniel Brooks is the majority owner of Bellamy's and several other locations." Silence followed. Not the awkward kind, but the kind that demanded attention. Emma's chest tightened. The noise of the city, the music, the room, all of it faded. She saw only Daniel, the man she once loved, the man she believed would never become more than a dreamer. Her mind rushed back through years of doubt, words she had spoken, choices she had made. None of them could be taken back now. Mark cleared his throat, trying to recover. "Well, that's impressive," he said, forcing a smile. "You could have said something." Daniel met his eyes, calm and unreadable. "I never felt the need." Emma stepped forward, her voice barely steady. "You own this place." Daniel nodded once. "Yes." She swallowed hard. "All this time, you were building this." "I was building a future," he said simply, quietly. Her eyes filled, not from regret alone, but from the weight of understanding. She had measured his worth by what she could see back then. Late nights, small apartments, uncertain plans. She had missed the patience, the discipline, the long game he was playing. "I thought you were struggling," she whispered. "I was," Daniel replied, "just not failing." Mark shifted uncomfortably. "Emma, we should sit down." She didn't move. "No, I need to hear this." Daniel took a breath. "When you left, I understood why. You wanted security. You wanted something real. I couldn't offer that then, so I let you go." Emma closed her eyes. The truth hurt, but it was clean, honest. There was no anger in his voice. No blame, only clarity. "I didn't come here to embarrass anyone," Daniel continued. "I came because this place represents everything I worked for, and because sometimes you have to face the past to know it no longer controls you." People nearby pretended not to listen, but every word landed. The waiter quietly stepped back. The manager remained still, letting the moment belong to Daniel. Mark tried to laugh again, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Well, I guess first impressions can be wrong." Daniel nodded. "They often are." Emma wiped a tear before it fell. "I'm proud of you," she said, voice breaking. "I truly am." Daniel looked at her for a long moment. Memories passed between them without words, late talks, shared hopes, the slow distance that grew when fear replaced faith. He felt warmth, not longing. Peace, not regret. "Thank you," he said softly. She searched his face, hoping for something more. An opening. Chance? But what she saw was a man complete on his own. Mark placed a hand on her arm. "Let's go," he said quietly. Emma pulled away. "Go ahead. I'll be right there." Mark hesitated, then walked back to the table. His confidence dimmed. Emma turned back to Daniel. "I thought success would make you bitter," she admitted. "But you're kind." Daniel smiled slightly. "Success didn't change me. It just gave me room to breathe." She nodded, understanding now what she had missed before. A server approached Daniel. "Would you like anything else, sir?" "No," he said. "I think I've had enough for tonight." Emma took a step back, giving him space. "Goodbye, Daniel. Goodbye, Emma." They shared one last look, not of what could have been, but of what had been learned. As Daniel sat back down, the restaurant slowly returned to its rhythm. Conversations resumed. Glasses clinked. But something had changed. Not just for Emma or Mark or the guests who witnessed it. Daniel looked out at the city lights beyond the window. He didn't feel rich in that moment. He felt free. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't being recognized by others. It's knowing you no longer need their approval.